A gas which obeys an equation of state PV equals to mu RT perfectly under all conditions is called an ideal gas. This much we had seen last time, correct? Okay. But then, how the molecules of gas should behave such that that gas can obey that equation of state PV equals to mu RT perfectly under all conditions. In order to obey that equation, what should be the behavior of the molecules? We have made a list of assumptions, list of expectations regarding the behavior of molecules of ideal gas. In which manner should they behave such that ultimately they will obey, that gas will obey equation of state PV equals to mu RT, correct? Let us make a list of all assumptions, okay? First assumption, ideal gas is considered to be made up of tiny particles called molecules of a gas, correct? You know the meaning of particle. What is meaning of particle? What is meaning of particle? A point-like body having some mass is called a particle. Remember? A point-like body having some mass is called a particle. Simple? Fine. What is the second assumption? Second assumption is that molecules of ideal gas do not have any internal composition. No, they can be treated as solid spheres. But if there is no deformation in that sphere, we would call it rigid sphere. So molecules of ideal gas are considered to be rigid spheres without any internal composition. Correct? Third assumption, molecules of ideal gas, look here, they perform random motion, arbitrarily random motion in all directions with equal probability. They perform random motion in all the directions with equal probability, correct? And they do perform this motion continuously, meaning thereby at no moment of time they are at rest. At no moment of time they are continuously performing their random motion with equal probability in all the directions. Correct? Fine. Assumption number 4. During the random motion, they obey Newton's laws of motion. Correct? Fine. Number 5. Whenever you consider any sample of ideal gas, in the given quantity of ideal gas, the number of molecules is assumed to be very, very large. Why? Then only you can say that molecules move randomly in all the directions with equal probability. If the number is very large. Correct? You talk about hydrogen gas. What is the molecular weight? 2 gram per mole. 1 gram per mole is atomic weight. I am asking you molecular weight. Molecular weight is double than atomic weight for hydrogen gas. Because it is diatomic, molecular weight is 2 times atomic weight. 2 times? So 2 into 1, that is 2 gram per mole. Say 2 gram per mole. 2 gram per 1 mole. 1 mole means 6.02 into 10 is 23 molecules. So after 1, there are 23 zeros. 23 zeros. This is such a large number. And that multiplied by 6.02. The number is very, very large. And that too only in 2 gram. So I mean to say, even if you take little quantity of gas, the number of molecules inside it is very, very large. Okay? Assumption number 6. volume of only molecules is negligible as compared to volume of entire container. For example, this room has got very big volume, correct? Now the air which is contained in this room, if you compress from all the sides, then finally the volume of only molecules, it may be as much as this volume. You can confine the total amount of air in this room, you can just make it accommodated here in this such a small box. Don't you find volume of this box negligibly small compared to volume of the entire room, correct? So remember, volume of only molecules is negligible compared to volume of whole container, correct? Fine. Then we go for intermolecular forces. During the random motion, it so happens, molecules of ideal gas as such, they do not come very close. No, they keep themselves far away from each other. So unless and until they come very close, they do not interact. They do not exert intermolecular forces on each other. Correct? When they come very close, at that time, for a very small time only, they interact. They exert intermolecular forces. Otherwise, for majority of the times, or majority of the duration, no molecules come close to each other so much. Okay? So without interaction, they just move randomly, and that too very freely, because without interaction. Correct? Fine. Then, what about collision? Collision of a molecule with another molecule, or collision of a molecule with the wall of container is considered to be elastic. When any collision is said to be elastic, if kinetic energy is conserved. In all types of collisions, total energy is conserved. But if kinetic energy is conserved, then it is called an elastic collision. Correct? Fine. Then, a gas which has all these properties, it is called an ideal gas, and at that time it will obey equation of state Pv equals to mu RT perfectly under all conditions. So such a theoretical model which we have prepared regarding the behavior of ideal gas, it is known as molecular model of an ideal gas. Molecular model of an ideal gas. Fine. Look at now, formula for pressure exerted by ideal gas. Pressure exerted by ideal gas. This formula is very important. Now onwards in all the numericals, this formula will be utilized. So please remember this formula. P equals to 1 by 3 rho into average of V square. Come on, P equals to 1 by 3 rho into average of V square. Give me identification of each quantity. What is P? P means pressure. But what about rho? Density of gas. Density means? Yes. Total mass upon total volume. Total mass upon? How would you write total mass? Mass of one molecule multiplied by total number of molecules. Mass of one molecule multiplied by? Will give you total mass of whole gas divided by capital V, that is total volume. But M as it is. What is capital N upon capital V? Last time we had seen capital N upon capital V is nothing but molecular number density. It gives you number of molecules per unit volume. Number of molecules per unit volume. It is called molecular number density. Don't say only density, say number density. It was shown by symbol. Correct? Fine. Now tell me, what is this average of V square? Average of V square. Suppose I am giving you three values of velocity. Say 2 meter per second, then 3 meter per second, then say 5 meter per second. Okay? 2 meter per second, 3 meter per second, 5 meter per second. Correct? You add all these values. 2 plus 3 plus 5. 10 meter per second. Correct? And divide it by 3 because number of molecules I had considered 3. Correct? So 10 upon 3, that is 3.333. That would give you average of given velocities. Average of. But now I say don't make 2 plus 3 plus 5. You make addition like 2 square plus 3 square plus 5 square. That divided by 3. That divided by 3. What is 2 square? 4. What is 3 square? 9. 9 plus 4? 13. And 5 square is 25. 25 plus 13. So it is 38. 38 divided by 3. 38 divided by 3. So it will be 12.66. 12.66. That 12.67. 12.67 would give you not average of velocity. Would give you average of square of velocity. Average of square of velocity. Average of square of velocity. Because you had not made the addition of velocities, you had made addition of squares of velocity. You had made the addition of squares of velocity. Similarly, I am talking about n number of molecules. Look here. V1 square plus dash plus and then whole addition divided by total number of molecules, which is correct. So now tell me, this would give you what? Average of square of velocity. Average of square of velocity. Not average of velocity, average of square of velocity. So you must write average outside and square inside. Don't write it like this. Don't write this symbol like this. Okay? You cannot write this symbol like this because what is the difference between these two? This is average of squares. This is square of average. We are supposed to take average of square values. Average of and not square of the values. Okay? So don't write this way. Write this two inside. Write this two inside. Please take care. Look now. Let me find out square root of this. Look. Square root of average of square of velocity. Anna? Mathematically, can you say root mean? Mean means average. Mean means average. Root mean square velocity. Root mean square velocity. So now this can be replaced by look V RMS. V RMS. R means root. M means mean. S means square. And V means velocity. Root means square velocity. Say root means square velocity. Root mean square velocity. Everybody. Root mean square velocity. Fine. So now onwards, wherever you get this term, we will just replace it by this symbol V RMS, that is root mean square velocity. How to find this root mean square velocity? I am showing you. Just find out average of V square from here. 3 you can transfer here, rho you can transfer down. So average of V square will be how much? 3p upon rho. 3p upon rho. Don't look down. What is average of V square? 3p upon rho. Look, 3p upon rho. Take square root on both the sides. Square root of this, under root of average of V square. Correct? Under root here, so under root of 3p by rho. What is this? Root mean square. What is the symbol for that? V RMS. V RMS. And that equals to under root of 3p by rho. Tell me, pressure of any gas, can it not be found out by barometer? By using barometer we can find out the pressure. And so for density of gas is concerned, you can find it in laboratory. Once you know pressure, density, you can put the values here, you can find out V RMS. What is this velocity? Is it microscopic quantity or macroscopic quantity? Say correct. What is pressure? Microscopic or macroscopic? Macroscopic. So what this formula does, it relates one microscopic quantity with one macroscopic quantity. So if somehow you can find out this and this, you can find out microscopic quantity called velocity. Tell me otherwise how will you find out? This is the importance of this formula, using which you can find out microscopic quantity like velocity. Otherwise, tell me, how will you find out? Suppose you don't make use of this equation, how will you find out velocity? We cannot see the molecules. We cannot see the molecules. And then, what is the real picture, If you are talking about a given molecule, then given molecule, it goes on changing its velocity every moment. And if you are talking about same moment, at same moment, different molecules have different speeds. Different molecules have different velocities. Different molecules have different velocities. And you are talking about same time, then different molecules have different velocities. And if you are talking about same molecule, then same molecule at different time, it has different velocity. It has different velocity. And worst of all, we cannot see the molecules. We cannot see the molecules. Then tell me, how will you find out velocity? There is no way out. There is no way out that you can find out the velocity of molecules. This is the only way. This is the only way we can find out the velocity of molecules. Correct? So that lies the physical importance of this formula. Using macroscopic quantity, we can find out microscopic quantity. Got it? Fine. Remember that formula? Vrms equals to under root of 3p by rho. Under root of 3p by rho. Fine. Now tell me. Internal energy of an ideal gas. Internal energy of an ideal gas. Actually, capital E we use for mechanical energy. Capital E we use for mechanical energy. Mechanical energy means summation of kinetic and. But in case of ideal gas, molecules of ideal gas do not undergo any interaction. They do not exert intermolecular forces, and hence they do not have potential. They do not have potential. They do not have potential. Only they have translational kinetic energy. That's all. So you just make one thing. You find out total kinetic energy of all the molecules. Total kinetic energy of all the molecules. That would become total energy of ideal gas, which we call internal energy. Say internal energy. For one molecule, what is average kinetic energy? Half mv square. Say half mv square. But because it is average, then I am putting the symbol of average. But this is for one molecule, and such. How many molecules are there? N number of molecules. Say N number of molecules. So I must multiply by simple. Now n as it is, 1 by 2 m is constant, can be taken out. Can be taken out. Average you have to find out for that quantity which keeps on changing. Which keeps on changing. But 1 by 2 m is constant, you can definitely take it out. Then n into 1 by 2 m into average of this square. N as it is, 1 by 2 m as it is. What is average of this square? Everybody. Average of this square how much? Say. Say. 1 by 2. M into N. 3p. Rho. M upon V. Rho. Denominator will become 1 by 2. A, what is this? M into N. Think here. What is M into N? Total mass of a given gas. Because what is small m? Mass of one molecule. What is capital N? Total number of molecules. Mass of one molecule when multiplied by total number of molecules definitely will give you total mass of entire gas. That will be capital 3p. This v will go up. 3pv upon capital M. Upon capital M getting 3 by 2 pv. 3 by 2 pv. 3 by 2 as it is. 3 by 2 as it is. pv equals to pv equals to So what is the another formula for internal energy of an ideal gas? 3 by 2 pv also and 3 by 2 mu RT also. Remember both the formula. Okay. We want two more formula for VRMS. Let us obtain this way. And before that, we should go for kinetic interpretation of temperature. Kinetic interpretation of temperature. What is the meaning of temperature from kinetic theory point of view? I am showing you. E internal. We had written earlier, come on, n into average of 1 by 2 mv square. N into average of 1 by 2 mv square. And its formula we have obtained 3 by 2 PV. 3 by 2 PV. N equals to mu into Na. N equals to mu into Na. Not remembered? Not remembered? Last time we had obtained two formula for mu. Mu was n upon Na. Find out n from here. Find out. Take this out. N equals to mu into Na. N equals to mu into average of 1 by 2 mv square as it is. 3 by 2 PV equals to mu RT. PV equals to PV equals to wait. Mu ones are mu getting cancelled. 1 by 2 average I am putting here. Average of 1 by 2 mv square. Average of 1 by 2 mv square. This Na you can transfer in the denominator. In the denominator. So 3 by 2 R upon Na. R upon into T. Hey, what is this R upon Na? 1.38 into 10 raised to 5 raised to 23 joule upon molecule into Kelvin. Joule upon molecule. That was known as Boltzmann's constant. That was known as Boltzmann's constant. So this is replaced now by symbol Kb. B for Boltzmann, K for constant. Boltzmann's constant. Say Boltzmann's constant. So remember this formula. In all the 4 semesters this formula will be utilized. So please remember. Average of 1 by 2 mv square equals to 3 by 2 kT. 3 by 2 kb to T. 3 by 2 kb to T. 3 by 2 kb to T. Please remember this formula. And now this part is constant. Just remove it. So average of 1 by 2 mv square is directly proportional to absolute temperature. Directly proportional to absolute temperature. Directly proportional to absolute temperature. What do you mean by this? As greater is the temperature, greater is the average kinetic energy per one molecule. Speak conversely, smaller is the temperature, smaller is the average kinetic energy per one molecule. Thus, absolute temperature of ideal gas gives us measure of average kinetic energy per one molecule of it. Absolute temperature of ideal gas gives us measure of average kinetic energy per one molecule. Gives us measure of average kinetic energy. Because greater is the temperature, greater is the average kinetic energy per one molecule. Smaller is the temperature, smaller is the average kinetic energy per one. Simple. And now tell me, this 1 by 2 m is constant. Take it out. Average of V square. Average of V square. This is 3 by 2 kb into T. This 1 by 2 m I have taken out. Now just cancel these 2 and 2 from left and right sides. Come on, 2 is getting. Find out average of V square. Take this m down. So it is 3 kb into T upon m. Everybody, 3 kb into T upon m. 3 kb into T upon m. Now take square root on both the sides. Square root on. Come on, here also, correct? Tell me what is this? What is this? Root mean square by symbol V RMS. That equals to under root of 3 kb into T upon. Any problem? Now tell me, what about formula of kb? Formula of kb. Boltzmann constant is nothing but R upon N. Say so this kb is nothing but, come on everybody, R upon N. Say but m into N is what? How? What is small m? What is Na? So m into Na will give you mass of 1 mole molecules. Mass of 1 mole molecule. It is known as molecular weight. It is known as molecular weight. So m into Na can be replaced by m0, where m0 is molecular weight of a given gas. Remember all the 3 formula for VRMS. What is the first formula? under root of 3p by rho. What is second formula? Under root of 3 kb into t upon m, and this is under root of 3 RT upon m. Okay, right. Just give the heading: kinetic interpretation of temperature. Kinetic interpretation of temperature. Right. From the kinetic theory of gases, we know that right below that, average 1 by 2 mv square, equals to 3 by 2 kb into t. Be well below k. Take care while writing the symbol. 3 by 2 kb into t. Fine. Therefore, right below that, average 1 by 2 mv square is proportional to capital T. Right below that, thus, greater is the temperature, greater is the absolute temperature, right? Greater is the absolute temperature, comma, greater is average kinetic energy per one molecule. Greater is average kinetic energy per one molecule. Full stop. Conversely, comma, smaller is the absolute temperature. Comma, smaller is the average kinetic energy per one molecule. Hence, we can say that right below that, in the inverted comma, absolute temperature of a gas gives us measure of average kinetic energy per one molecule. Average kinetic energy per one molecule. Full stop. Inverted comma completed. Right below that, above fact indicates kinetic interpretation of temperature. Look, now this is very important article. Number of degrees of freedom and law of equipartition of energy. Number of degrees of freedom and law of equipartition of energy. First of all, let us take only one molecule and let us talk about only translational motion. Okay? So I have written here translational motion of only one molecule. Tell me how many mutually perpendicular axes you can think? 3 mutually perpendicular axes, है ना? Come on. X-axis, Y-axis, Z-axis. Correct? Number of independent directions of motion along which a molecule can perform its translational motion independently is called, that number is called number of degrees of freedom. Number of degrees of freedom. Why we say that these three axes are mutually independent of each other? How these three axes are independent of each other? How? If a molecule is moving, look here, along x-axis, that motion or that velocity has got no component along y-axis, no component along z-axis. Remember, two mutually perpendicular vectors do not produce any effect in the direction of each other. Because they do not produce any effect in the direction of each other, then we say they are mutually independent. Mutually independent. So if motion is performed along x-axis, then particle will have velocity only along x-axis, will have no component along y-axis, no component along z-axis. Similarly, particle is moving along y-axis, it will have no component along x-axis, no component along z-axis. Got it? So remember, number of independent directions of motion, in case of translational motion, it is 3. It is 3. That number itself is known as number of degrees of freedom. Number of it is shown by symbol f, small f. Look here, x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. They all are mutually perpendicular. And because they are mutually perpendicular, they indicate independent directions of motion. Independent. So that number of degrees of freedom here it is 3. What about rotational motion? Rotational motion. Consider molecule of oxygen gas. Molecule of O2. So it is diatomic. So it has got 2 oxygen atoms. 2 oxygen atoms. One is here. Look. Another is here. Okay, fine. Now just think of this x-axis. Look here. X, O, X dash, which is passing through the center point. Passing through the center point. I mean passing through the centers of mass of these 2 atoms. Okay? About this x-axis, this molecule does not rotate. It does not rotate this way. Look here. If here is oxygen atom, here is oxygen atom, then this oxygen molecule does not rotate this way. This way it does not rotate. No. Of course it performs rotational motion, but not about this x-axis. It moves this way. Look here. It rotates this way. And when it rotates this way, correct? When it performing rotation motion this way, this motion is about y-axis. About y-axis. So the axis of rotation is y-axis. Look here, about y-axis, rotation motion is taking place. It may rotate this way, look. It may rotate this way. And when it rotates this way, the axis of rotation is this. This means what? Z-axis. Correct? About Z-axis it can rotate. So about Z-axis it can rotate. How to find Y and Z-axis mutually perpendicular? Mutually perpendicular means mutually independent. Mutually independent. And what did I say just now? Number of independent directions of motion. Number of independent directions of motion itself is known as number of degrees of freedom. Number of degrees of freedom. So here only 2. Here, that's why number of degrees of freedom is 2. Think about vibrational motion now. Think about vibrational motion. Say these are the atoms of diatomic molecule, and you know what do? They simply perform, look here, vibrational motion about these 2 axes. About these 2 axes. Fine. In this case also, number of degrees of freedom is 2. How it is 2? Not in your syllabus. Not in your syllabus, you just take it granted. For vibrational motion, number of degrees of freedom is 2. If somebody is asking you, what is the total number of degrees of freedom for a molecule of diatomic gas? Look, pertaining to translational motion, how many? 3. Pertaining to rotational motion, come on. Pertaining to vibrational motion, how many? So 3 plus 2 plus 2, how many? 7. So there are 7 degrees of freedom for a molecule of diatomic gas. Okay? But if you are given in the statement in the numericals that particular molecule of diatomic gas behaves like a rigid rotator. Behaves like a rigid rotator. When it behaves like a rigid rotator, remember at that time it does not perform any vibrational motion. No vibrational motion, no degrees of freedom pertaining to vibrational motion. So out of 7 you may deduct 2. 7 minus 2, that is only 5. 7 minus 2, that is only 5. No vibrational motion, then this number of degrees of freedom we should deduct from the total 7. 7 minus 2, that is 5. F equals to 5. Correct? What was the total kinetic energy per one molecule? Total energy per one molecule was 3 by 2 kb into T. 3 by 2. Now let us see for a molecule of ideal gas which performs only translational motion. Which performs? Only translational. So when you are talking about ideal gas, because only translational motion is there, no rotational motion, no vibrational motion, then you should not consider these and these degrees of freedom. You should consider F equal to 3. F equal to 3. Now let us find out how this energy is distributed among the number of degrees of freedom. How? What is the partition of energy? Which way it is distributed? Equally or unequally? Let us find out that. Look now. This average of V square, can we write this way? Average of V square, can we write this way? Average of Vx square plus average of Vy square plus average of Vz square. Can we write this way? How? What is the expression of magnitude of velocity? V equals to, everybody, under root of, V equals to under root of Vx square plus x squares on both the sides. So V square will be, square root will vanish. V square equals to, everybody, Vx square plus, and then take average in each term. Each term you can take average. But how do molecules of ideal gas move? And that too with equal probability in and that's why whatever is the average value of squares of x component of velocity, same is the average value of square of y component of velocity, same is the average value of square of z component of velocity. I mean to say these three average values are equal. So what you can do now, in place of these and these, you can write these, write it here and here, then you get average of Vx square plus average of Vx square plus average of Vx square. How many? 3 into average of Vx square. 3 into average of Vx square. Right, start with this. Average of 1 by 2 mv square equals to 3 by 2 kb into T. Average of 1 by 2 mv square equals to 3 by 2 1 by 2 m I am taking out. Say average of V square. Average of V square 3 by 2 kb into T as it is. What is the value of average of V square? Average of V square. Right now it is 3 into average of V square. 3 to average of V square. Place it here. Place it here and start with this. 1 by 2 m. Everybody. 1 by 2 m. Into average of V square. Average of V square. Average of V square. How much? 3 into average of V square. Say 3 into average of V square. Fine. And on right hand side 3 by 2 kb into T. 3 by 2 kb into T. 3 ones are 3 getting cancelled. 1 by 2 m average of Vx square equals to 1 by 2 kb into T. 1 by 2 kb into T. But average of Vx square is equal to average of Vy square. Put it here. Put it here. Average of V square can be replaced by average of Vy square can be replaced by average of Vz square. Average of Vz square. But then right hand side remains same. Right hand side remains same. This is equal to this. This is equal to this. What is this? Average kinetic energy per one molecule for motion along x-axis. This is for motion along y-axis. This is for motion along z-axis. But all the three values are equal. And that each equal part is how much? 1 by 2 kb into T. 1 by 2 kb into 1 by 2 kb into T. Because the total energy is distributed in all the three directions equally. Say equally. We call this law as law of equipartition of energy. Law of equipartition of energy. And for translational motion, what was the number of degrees of freedom? For translational motion, what is the number of degrees of freedom? 3. How many? 3. How many? 3. You divide this by 3. Divide this by 3. Divide this by 3. 1 by 2 kV. Say. 1 by 2 kV. If you divide this by 3, what is the each equal part of energy? 1 by 2 kV. Say. 1 by 2 kV. Say. 1 by 2 kV. Say. 1 by 2 kV. Because that total energy is distributed equally among the 3 mutually independent directions, or you can say it is divided into as many number of degrees of freedom, that many equal parts. That many? Equal parts. 3 degrees of freedom, then it is divided into 3 equal parts. Divided into 3 equal parts. That statement is known as law of equipartition of energy. Law of equipartition of energy. Right of the statement, not given in the textbook. Right. First of all, write number of degrees of freedom. Number of degrees of freedom. Write in the inverted comma. First of all, write is simple, small f. Number of degrees of freedom into bracket small f. Right in the inverted comma. Number of independent directions of given type of motion. Of a given molecule is called number of degrees of freedom. Number of degrees of freedom. Number of degrees of freedom for that type of motion of that molecule. For that type of motion for that molecule. Comma. Shown by symbol small f. Shown by symbol small f. Right below that, put a star and write. For one molecule of monoatomic gas or ideal gas. For one molecule of monoatomic gas or ideal gas. Comma. F equal to 3. F equal to 3. Put another star and write. For molecule of diatomic gas with vibrations, comma, F equal to 7, F equal to 7, and without vibration, comma, F equal to 5, F equal to 5, into bracket for a rigid rotator, for rigid rotator. Correct? Now write law of equipartition of energy. Law of equipartition of energy. Total energy of a gas write this way. Total energy of molecule of a gas. Total energy of molecule of a gas including all the types of motion. Including all the types of motion. Is divided is divided into equal parts. Comma equal to number of degrees of freedom. Number of degrees of freedom, full stop. You write or, another statement I am giving, or total energy of a molecule is divided equally among total number of degrees of freedom, among total number of degrees of freedom, comma, with each equal part, equal to 1 by 2 kb into T, equal to 1 by 2 kb into T, full stop. This very statement is called law of equipartition of energy. Law of equipartition of energy. Look, one very small formula for internal energy of ideal gas. Look here. What is 1 by 2 kb into T? Energy for 1 degree of freedom of one molecule. Energy for 1 degree of freedom for one molecule. Very good. What is that? Total number of degrees of freedom. If I multiply by F, what will I get? What is this much? Energy of a molecule. Energy of a molecule. Correct? Energy of one molecule. Energy of one molecule. And what is capital N? Total number of molecules. So if I multiply energy for one molecule by total number of molecules, what will I get? Total energy of all the N molecules. Total energy of all the N molecules. And that is known as internal energy of an ideal gas. Simple. Total number of molecules multiplied by number of degrees of freedom per one molecule multiplied by amount of energy per one molecule per 1 degree of freedom. Fine. What is N from here? What is N? Mu into Na. N equals to? N equals to? Into F into 1 by 2 into Kb into T. Tell me, mu F T. Say everybody. Mu F T. Here it is, mu F T. Correct? Now these two I have written in the denominator. What I have not written in the numerator, Na into Kb. Say Na into Kb. Transfer this. So R equals to Na into Kb. R equals to Na into Kb. Speak reverse. Na into Kb is nothing but R. Na into Kb is nothing but R. Na into Kb is nothing but R. So what is the formula for internal energy of an ideal gas, everybody? Mu F RT by 2. Mu F RT by 2. Mu F RT by 2. Based upon this, there is a sum number 8. But before that, solve sum number 7. This is the statement number 7. Number 7. Take number 1 molecule, say made up of water. Number 1 made up of water. Number 2 made up of steam. Okay. What have they given? The volume of molecule of a steam, that is number 2, is 1000 times volume of molecule of water. That is number 1. Simple. Have they given like this? What is volume of a molecule? Means volume of a sphere. 4 upon 3 pi r cube. Number 2 then I should write here R2. Come on, 1000 as it is. What is V1? What is V1? Volume of molecule of water. So 4 upon 3 pi R1 cube. Pi. Fine. What you can cancel from both the sides? 4 upon 3 pi getting cancelled. Any problem? What is cube root of R2 cube? It is R2. What is cube root of 1000? 10. What is cube root of R1 cube? Correct? What is R1? Radius of molecule of water. You are given. Correct? So come on. 2 into 10, that is 20 angstrom. But what have they asked? Read the statement again. What have they asked? Average distance between two molecules of steam. Look, if two molecules of steam come very close to each other, then the separation between them means separation between their centers is this much. Look here, this much. Tell me, is it not radius? Say yes. Yes. This is also? Yes. So R2 plus R2. R2 plus? R2. It will be 2 into R2. Say? R2. So the required separation is this much. Required separation is this much. And that separation is nothing but your final answer, which is 2 into R2. 2 into R2. So final answer is, look, it is 2 into R2. 2 into R2. And 2 into R2, R2 has come out to be 20 angstrom. 2 into 20 angstrom, that is 40 angstrom. Right on. Read next. Number 8. What do you require? Just now read the statement and still not knowing what is required. Is it the formula for that? E internal. A internal. Mu F R T by 2. Okay. What is mu in terms of mass and atomic molecular weight? Mu equals to m upon m0. M upon m0. Mu equals to m upon m. The remaining part I have written FRT upon 2. Correct? Either you should take this both the masses in gram or in kilogram. In any case, the unit should be getting cancelled. Leave both the masses at present in gram only. What is the mass of given gas? 200. Correct. So 200 gram. Okay. What about molecular weight for oxygen? 32 gram per mole. Say. I'm not asking atomic weight. I'm asking molecular weight for oxygen. It is 32 gram per mole. Gram upon gram. So unit will be getting cancelled. What about number of degrees of freedom for a molecule of diatomic gas? Number of degrees of freedom as such it is 7. As such it is 7. But it is with vibration. Say. Here they are talking about rigid rotator. Rigid rotator. Then without vibration it is 7 minus 2, that is 5. So F is 5. F is 5. What about value of R? Universal gas constant 8.314 joule upon mole into Kelvin. What about absolute temperature? You are given temperature, I think 27 degrees Celsius. 27 plus 273. 300 Kelvin. Say upon 2. Now simplify. Answer from this you can find out. And that many joule. That many joule. Write down. Can I add one minor question in this sum? Yes or no?
Yes.
Who says no? This is total internal energy. Suppose they ask, find out that portion of internal energy which is for translational motion. Then 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 is how many parts of 5? 60%. Say 60%. Because number of degrees of freedom for translational motion is 3. What is total number of degrees of freedom? 5. 3 upon 5. Say
3 upon 5.
multiply by 100%. Multiply by
100%.
So 3 upon 5 is 0.6. Say
0.6.
3 upon 5 is what?
0.6.
0.6 into 100%. That is 60%. Say
60.
so whatever answer you got then, it's a 60%. It's a
60%.
how to find out 60%? Multiply by 60 divided by 100 will give you energy for translational motion. Energy for and remaining energy which is 40%, which is
40%.
it is for that rotational motion. It is for that. But if suppose they ask the division, no, they may ask division of translational kinetic energy and division of rotational kinetic energy. Separately if they ask, then you can find out this way. But it's 60-40. Say
60-40.